Hello, guys and girls. Today, we're gonna talk about another bitch. So, this is about a woman. I think she's from SoCal, or maybe she's from Michigan. I don't remember exactly which state she's from. But she went into a Target store and tried to harass the employees, and when it backfired on her, and when one of the employees hit her, she started backlashing that, oh, this is a violation of black women's rights and she's gonna fight for it. She's acting like a goddamn activist. But clearly, she's doing the wrong thing and she's portraying a wrong thing on the internet to the youngsters as well. So I thought I might as well talk about it anyways. So let's move on with the video and let's start the video and let me explain what happened exactly. So let's go. So this is the video in question. I'm gonna like to show you what exactly she did. If you go this is the footage cam from the store itself, so you can see directly the store, and you can see what all happens here. So I'm just gonna include the audio so that you can just hear the audio of the incident.
Ohio. Security video
So this
shows
is happened in Ohio. Sorry, my
37-year-old
bad.
Karen Ivory checking out at the register. When the bill surpasses $1,000, Ivory says she won't have enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, $1,000 is a lot of money, but including that, she is taking home supplies for like a complete month. I don't think it's that much, and I mean, I mean, when I shop as an individual, and when my parents shop or my friends shop, we usually check the prices of stuff, and I mean, as Indians, we just have a very good mathematical skills to just mentally calculate the like approx bill of what we want to get. So usually we check like, oh, it's currently crossing 500, and I have 500 in my wallet. Maybe I should just use my debit card and credit card for once and just buy this stuff, or maybe should I leave some stuff in order to match the bill? Because like, yeah, you should buy only things that are essential to you while you are on a tight budget. And if you're not on a tight budget, and if you can just flaunt your credit card or your debit card and you have an decent amount of balance, I think then you can buy freely. But I don't think this is the way to behave in some kind of civilized society, that you just charge towards the employees. See, if this was let's just reverse the gender roles and just see that if a hefty or man would have charged at a skinny lady employee, and she would have slapped him or beaten him up, that wouldn't have been a that big of a case, because people will be like, oh, this is a woman and you are harassing this woman. But just because that was a man and you didn't give you a right to charge at him and make him uncomfortable in such a scenario in a workplace that he used to have to work every day, and women like you live around and can come and harass him, I think this woman should be arrested and kept in. First, should be given medical like help first, so that her psychological as like thing goes well. Then after that, she should be taken in count for the felony that she did.
I'm not going to have enough money to pay for this. I need to talk to the manager. She happened to be walking by.
Body camera video captures Target manager Ashley Meyer describing to police what happened.
So this is the like, I would say, floor manager, I think.
I came around and I was like, "Hey, what can I do for you?"
Okay.
Usually it's like the price is wrong or whatever. She starts going on this spiel about about how like I've had a privileged life and she's been disadvantaged, and then said that she
Nobody cares, bro. Everyone has their problems in life, whether they are a millionaire, whether they are poor, whether they are black, whether they are brown, whether they are white. It doesn't matter. Skin color doesn't matter. The social standing doesn't matter. Everyone has their problems. That doesn't mean you can just push your problems into someone else's goddamn face, especially an target employee. Maybe his salary is as equals to as your monthly income as well. Maybe he's not that privileged as you are. Just because he's working in an air-conditioned store behind a counter doesn't give you the right to think that they have a privileged life. They have the problems of own, and you need to realize and not act like a stupid bitch like this.
She was asking
I hate people like this who just push their problems on other people and be like, "Oh, you don't have any problems. You're rich. Rich. We also have problems. We also have circumstances. Everyone doesn't have a smooth Disney life, bro."
Target to make reparations for her. And I said, that's not something we can do tonight. If you need a donation, like, you can call tomorrow. I can put you in touch, like, with the HR person, but, like, that isn't something I can do for you, like, right now.
I mean, yeah, if you're coming in the middle of a night, you cannot be expecting a attendant like immediately giving a goddamn free stuff just because you feel like you're underprivileged and the person behind the counter is privileged. This mentality is totally sick and should not be like in the society.
Sorry.
Okay.
Jesus.
And then she was like, you need to put me in touch with someone tonight. And I was like, I can't. There is
I mean, if you're in an emergency, if you're trying to stock up and you don't have like you have some kind of emergency, family emergency and shit like that, buy something in $1,000. $1,000 is not a small amount. You can get a lot of stuff for $1,000 for a month. People survive out of $500 a month. Okay, they live their lives in $500. You're privileged enough to spend $1,000, and you're overspending above $1,000, and now you're trying to act like you're not a privileged woman. Do you even know fucking how much the $1,000 means for a middle class person? Dumb fucking bitch.
isn't
Okay.
like
Strange.
yeah. And then she got really close to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I put my hands up and backed up, and she like followed me. She was like breathing into my eyeballs.
Was she screaming at you or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she got really close to me. I put my hands up. I touched her shoulders
Mm-hmm.
because she was like coming into my space.
Okay.
And then she like because I touched her, she like went after that and just
Bitch, you're
started
lucky you're in a Target store with civilized staff and individuals. If this was like a discount store or some other local store, that man would have just whooped out his goddamn gun and just shot at you. You're lucky that you're in a civilized society living amongst civilized individuals, going into a civilized store where there are individuals that understand you and respect their customers. You should just be grateful that you're alive today.
screaming really loudly and like backed me up against the soda machine.
Okay.
And then that's when like our security person, she called our security person.
Security video shows the incident unfold as Ivory approaches the manager and gets in her face. After that, a lawsuit.
Imagine this big of a woman getting on the face or getting on your face, like that's short of an individual. You're pretty threatened, bro.
Prevention manager approaches.
So what happened?
She
Okay,
demanded
scene
us to
secure
requisition
at
out for $1,000
2046.
merchandise.
Okay.
Came up, I tried to verbally de-escalate.
Uh-huh.
She told me that she wanted to wreck it out, and I told her we couldn't do that.
Okay.
And then she said, "Excuse me," and I was like, "Man, like I need you to back up or leave, like, but we can't do that for you." So she started charging at me. I came all the way back into my office into an enclosed space,
Uh-huh.
and I hit her in the face.
Surveillance video shows Ivory run after the
Yeah,
manager.
maybe you can make an argument that hitting on her face was not the best solution. Like that punch just knocked her out completely. But you have to understand the situation on the man's shoes, that he's been cornered into a closed space by a very healthy aggressive woman that's charging on him, and he doesn't know what's gonna happen next. Maybe she gonna start beating him up or something like that. He just feels threatened. As I told previously, if that was the gender roles were reversed and the woman would have beaten up the man, the people wouldn't say shit. But just because he's a man, he's supposed to stay calm when a woman is trying to lash on him. It's completely unjust, and I don't think this kind of shit should happen. And this woman should definitely be behind bars.
And into his office. When she approaches, he punches her in the face. While the security video does not have audio,
Ooh.
the manager later described the incident to police on body camera video.
So I tried to literally close her out, but at that point she was like pretty much running, so she barreled her way in, and then kept coming into my office.
Okay. Yes. And you just hit her and that's it.
Hit her like right in the face, like right in the jaw.
After the manager punches Ivory in the face, Security video shows him calling 911.
What did your notes say? The lady came in and punched her man, or her manager punched her?
Yeah, some sort of shenanigans. Didn't say anything about a manager. Said somebody came into an office,
I thought it
started
was
assaulting
an
him.
employee when
Yeah.
assumed it was a manager.
Allegedly, this chick's impaired.
When officers arrive, body camera footage captures Ivory arguing with the manager as officers work to get her information.
I tried to close you out of my office and you just kept on pushing your way in.
That's right.
No, sir. I didn't push my way in.
Yes,
I
you
came.
did.
No, I came around the corner quickly.
Hey, would you
I did not push
quit
the door.
talking? Hey, no.
Excuse
Let's
you?
Stop talking. When I'm telling you, you stop talking, okay?
Do you know who I am?
We'll figure that out when I get your ID.
Ivory later tells police officers the incident stemmed from her request for
Oh,
reparations.
bitch,
on
she
her
used to know who
purchase.
you am.
So what caused the issue? then?
Fucking idiot.
But I
And so,
came in.
Actually,
Target is somewhat of a home for me. And we were gonna have a big discussion here, and I asked her to do it nicely.
Who are you gonna have this big discussion with?
With Target, whatever in Target I needed to speak with.
Okay.
I asked
So I ran
nicely, the young lady,
Hi, George, 31 squads responding,
I'm not gonna
2432,
do
updating
that.
available
I'm not gonna
service
touch. I
2.
said, who would you
Vehicle
call
call,
if this place was caught fire? I asked her to put me in touch with the right people. Who would you call if this place was on fire? It was. She would not. I'm not gonna do
I want to
that.
show this bitch whole video. I just want to show you.
They teamed up. We're not. Actually, no. The young lady got in my face. She pushed me too. She put her hands on me as well.
Yeah, she pushed her hand because you were going into a like gonna smooch in her face like that. Shit, idiot. No shit, Charlotte.
We have decided we were not gonna have a bigger conversation. I decided to take a stand.
What's the bigger conversation? You gonna get free stuff, freebies from the goddamn Target? That's your biggest conversation of the world? Maybe go get your ass off this chair where you sit and just mop all day and go get a job so that you can pay for the bills. First of all, you're going on into a store with $1,000. Get yourself a goddamn credit card and just pay from the credit card. And if you have social problems, don't buy all the stuff that you want. Buy all the necessary goods, get your ass off the store, and just live your life. People live off like $500. People live out of $100. People are homeless on the street trying to live off. And you saying you have the biggest problems in the world? Which COVID hit? There's unemployment everywhere. Everyone is goddamn poor. No one is goddamn rich anymore. Stop trying to push your problems as the world's biggest problems in the goddamn universe.
This is my Rosa Parks moment.
Those are pathetic people.
Don't play with me.
Body camera video captures Ivory speaking with officers for more than 30 minutes, stressing the statement she was trying to make.
We're having a conversation about how to reconcile the fact that some people benefited off of a system that was rigged against other people. I asked nicely to have that conversation.
You didn't ask nicely, you're just pushing her, like going jabbing on her face for some reason. Why should I want to listen to this?
What were you asking for?
It's giving me a headache, bruh.
Her to connect me with who I could talk to.
What was your purpose of that that further conversation? What were you gonna ask that person for to do?
To break the lies around money.
What's that mean?
We all know money has not been treating everybody equally. We all know money around money.
Gonna ask that person for to do?
To break the lies around money.
Break the lies around money? What's the lie? Bro, $1 bill, if a white person has a $1 bill, or black person has a $1 bill, or brown person has a $1 bill, that $1 bill is still a $1 bill, irrespective of which color, race, or ethnicity you come from, dumbass. And yeah, if you're talking about, yeah, it's true that black people might struggle with jobs and opportunities, but that doesn't give you a right to harass an individual going into a store. And that individual just being a manager, he probably is under middle class, okay? He's probably earning less than what you are right now. He's just trying to do his job. He's doing a night shift, bro. He's just doing a night shift just that he can support his family, or maybe his college tuition, or maybe some shit. Probably he's trying to support his little sister's education. Probably some shenanigans he's trying to support. But at the end of the day, you don't get a right to shove your problems on someone else's someone else individuals just because you think that money is not treating you equally. Do you think that this officer has been given the right amount of money that he does? He's trying to protect people all over the like town or the country or his region. Do you think that he gets well paid? He has to stay at night and do his duty. Maybe his is at his home. Maybe his wife is at his home. Maybe his brother, sister, or parents is at his home. While he's just roaming around on the streets looking for bitches like you who are creating nuisance all over the town. Do you think that is fair? Fucking idiots.
What's that mean?
We all know money has not been treating everybody.
As much as I hear this statement, I feel like punching her as well.
It's
Were you,
not.
were you asking them to make a donation, essentially? Or to let you have them for free?
No,
What was it?
I was coming up to the limit of where I had money. I was trying to ask if Target would comp me the rest, and we would have a conversation, bubble up a bigger conversation about why.
What's your biggest conversation? You want the half product for free? To be honest, I don't even know how much the bill exceeded $1,000. Maybe it's like $1,000 bill, and then I guess it exceeded to $2,000. Do you want me to compensate for the $1,000 extra items? Just leave the items that you don't want. Just buy the bare essentials. Why do you need a goddamn like whatever the Kinder Joy shit that you want for your baby boy? Just buy him a normal toy. People live out of poverty and they grew up to become a responsible man and woman. And you just want to enjoy the luxuries of $1,000 and you don't have extra money. So just buy things that are under $1,000. I don't think you need that much groceries or that much resources to survive for a month. People survive with very bare minimums. And if you don't have enough money, if you don't have that big of a job to support that big of a family, then don't build that big of a family. People just try to have sex and just have kids, and then they don't want to take responsibility, and they blame the society for not providing them with jobs. Which, if you think you can't afford a child, and you can't afford the sustenance of a child, don't make a child. Just use a goddamn $15 pack of a condom. Don't give a birth to a human being and just say that it's not my responsibility.
It's the right place for me to have this conversation.
Target's a good company.
Exactly. And I was trying to have a hard conversation in a safe place.
Yeah. So did you?
No.
Yeah. You're trying to have a hard conversation in a safe place. When the bitch said no, she cannot give you things for free. You just charge on her face and to shove your goddamn face on her face and be breathing on her. And I think that's a civilized conversation. Now you're just being calm because you're just confronted by two police officers who can just whip out a gun whenever you try to be aggressive. Very well played.
I did it the right way. I went through the right steps. The problem why money doesn't work right is because it blocks people at checkpoints. And I'm tired of people locking good people out. You don't get paid what you deserve nearly as much, because choosing to do the right thing in this world costs us monetarily. That's not fair. The system is rigged against people doing the right thing.
If
When
you if
Ivory
you're
is told she's
if you want to do this kind of conversation, maybe go to public speaking platform, maybe vent out your problems there. But I don't think Target store is the correct place to vent out your problems. Just go grab your stuff, the amount that you have in your hand, or maybe use your credit card or debit card, and just move the fuck out of the store. Don't annoy all the people inside it. Because every person that is going inside the store, every customer or the employees, each have their own problems, each have their own circumstances. Just because they're not venting outside doesn't mean that they don't have problems inside. Retarded and self-centered mentality. I hate this kind of shit.
now trespassing in Target, she becomes visibly upset.
Trespass from Target.
I'm sorry.
As of today, you're trespassing from Target.
On the basis of you hitting me?
Ma'am, let's go.
Outside.
No, that is not going to
Either
happen.
you walk out on your own or in handcuffs.
Oh, I will be arrested for this cause.
Okay, come on. Come on.
No, I'm
Come
not
on.
gonna move.
Don't make this
Nope,
more
you're
difficult than it
gonna,
has
no,
to be.
it's gonna be on camera. Where are you holding your lines at?
Come on.
Ivory then pushes back, arguing she should not be removed from the store.
Does he have to?
That's
does
all
he-
this is.
So
He
he gets the right to kick me out after he hits me? He didn't bubble
So-
that, he can't bubble that up in management?
He is
I've
speaking on
asked-
behalf of the company at this
Really?
point. That's
Exactly.
what he's doing.
So he can speak on behalf of the company at that level, but he couldn't do it there?
I wasn't out there. I'm sure tensions were a little different than they are at this moment in time. So,
No, you're gonna reconcile that. You're not gonna give me any more lies. You will tell the truth about the situation. No. You are trying to arrest me for him hitting me.
Correct. You are under arrest.
Yes.
You're under arrest for menacing and disorderly conduct. Okay? Now, here's what we would like to do. We would
Let's
rather
go
you
make
walk
this stand.
outside and not make a big deal. If you're going to make
Oh,
a big
no,
deal,
you're
we're
gonna
going to have to
cuss
handcuff
something.
you and do
Yes,
all that
you
other
will.
stuff.
Yes, you will.
Let's go.
Go ahead, stand up then.
I'm not gonna
Don't
move.
get resisting too. Okay?
Let's do it.
Let's
If
not.
we're gonna go into it, let's do it. If you're gonna hold every line, you know what happened here.
With that, officers tell Ivory the video evidence is against her.
I know, I just watched the video.
I asked to open a conversation, and he's still blocking me out, and you guys are protecting it.
Ma'am, you chased the one employee all the way to the front, okay? You made contact with her body by pushing your body into hers. I just watched it clear as day on the video.
Okay?
He then came out and you followed him all the way back here,
Okay?
making him fear for his safety. You backed him into an office and you got hit in the face, unfortunately.
When people who are backed into a corner, they can choose, they can choose to do the right thing, or they can choose to lash out.
Okay, you were in the wrong here, just so we're
I
clear.
held the line.
You didn't hold
And
the line.
I moved my line continuously. I asked, and when they did not respect, they were gatekeeping me. Like the whole world has kept people.
Man, you were
And
free to leave at any time,
Absolutely.
but you didn't.
Absolutely.
So
because it
you
wasn't right.
amplified the situation. No, you wanted something
when the
for
laws
free.
are not right,
You wanted something
you
for
make a
free.
stand so they can change.
Are you ready to go outside?
If the laws are meant to hold people down, you will fight for me, my community.
Let's go outside.
Responding officers explained the Target manager
This
would
is the reason you should get an education. You should go to school. You should go to college. College and school is not just for like getting a degree. It's for people to understand that people to like exist in a symbiosis. In a symbiosis, you exist with different kind of people, with different kind of mentality, with different kind of overthinking of the world. You understand, you communicate with people, you try to understand their circumstances, you're trying to understand each individual has their own kind of circumstances, and that makes you grow into man or a woman that doesn't act like a retarded person like this goddamn fucking woman. You get to understand where people have circumstances and people have views. That's the reason I say education in school and college are required. It's not just for the sake of getting a degree or getting qualified into a particular like field. It's for you to meet people, to understand that there are other people in the society that are facing problems. There are other people that are surviving and you're not just alone. It just breaks your bubble of your self-centeredness and just gives you a bigger picture of the whole world in a small world itself. Like when you're in a school or college, you're in a small family. And when you try to coexist with that family and respect that family, you get to understand the whole world as a small sphere. That's why I say going to school, going to college is a part of life. You may choose to drop out of school just for your career purpose. I can understand that, but I say that school, at least school, is an essential part of life. And when bitches like this don't go to school, don't get education, don't like coexist in a living society, fuck school. If you don't want to go to school, at least try to coexist with your neighbors. When you try to learn each other and when you try to respect each other, you understand that each person has their individual problems. She was in the wrong for lashing out on the first female employee trying to get into her space. When this guy came in for trying to protect to her, she pushed him into a corner. If this was a gender reverse role where the man had pushed a woman into a corner, this would be in a clear cut case of violence and harassment towards a woman, and he if that was a guy, that would have been charged for at least 5 to 6 years. But just because this was a black woman trying to charge at a white man, and she's just trying to make this a racist thing kind of stuff, is clearly sick and kind of like an insult brain. I don't support these kind of women, and she's trying to justify being an activist and trying to put up a stand. Stand for what? Taking free goods from individuals that are working hard daily? You know how much money that the guy makes? He makes barely as much money as you do. You're trying to steal away the income that he is making, because at the end of the day, Target's not going to get affected by it. They're going to cut his salary because you came in and you take free goods. Maybe the woman on the counter got her salary deducted. Maybe she wants to feed her family too. Maybe her family is facing problems too. You need to understand and just not try to be self-centered and think from a perspective from each individual that you're trying to encounter. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to fucking say right now.
Was not in the wrong and will not be charged.
That doesn't, just because your intentions were good, does not make this any less illegal, unfortunately.
Right.
So we
But
have.
what happens when the
So give me 2
laws
seconds.
are not okay for people? We
I,
need to
I
talk
have to
about it.
enforce the laws that are in place. Okay, that is our job. That is our goal.
But he's not getting arrested for assault?
It's not assault.
He's defending himself.
Ivory maintains she did not get physical with any Target employees.
No, there was
Yes.
not at any times that my hands came up to do anything to anybody.
You're not being
What I
charged
did,
with
I
assault.
stood my ground.
Okay, and you
And
were
when
wrong.
people, no, I wasn't. Standing your ground is not wrong if you're standing it in the truth.
Finally, Ivory allows officers to handcuff her.
I need you to turn around, put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest. Thank you.
Violate my rights as a human being.
She's then escorted to a squad car outside the store. She continues to speak with officers, saying she was forcing an important conversation.
When it gets to a point where a young man reached out and hit an older black woman,
Now it's not about the race and the color. Come on, bitch. Grow up from this society. If you're gonna keep this kind of mentality that, oh, this is a white man, this is a brown, this is a black guy, and now then after you face racism outside the society, like outside your community, you try to make an issue of racism outside the community just because other people call you black, and you yourself are creating a situation where you're just implementing that, oh, he was a white guy so he hit a black woman. It's not about that. It's about a man who was being threatened for his position in a Target store, being a manager there and getting threatened even after having such a high position. He felt uncomfortable and he hit you, and you, being an aggressive woman, got hit on the face. That's it. It's not about you being black or he being white. It's about that guy being a victim and you being a suspect. I don't know what you call it. What do you call it? I think you call it felonier. I'm not sure if you do a felony, if you call it felonier. I'm not sure about that, but she was the person that instigated the person to hit her, and she was in the wrong. And it's not about him being white and she be black. If this was a white woman, he would have done the same thing. He felt uncomfortable. He feel that he was being harassed. He took immediate action. Maybe he should have hit her. Maybe he should just have called 911. But I don't know what to say about the situation right now. But I feel that this woman should get medical treatment, and then after that medical treatment is over, this woman should be in prison behind bars.
Of age, race, anything.
you don't hit somebody.
You don't hit people, but I can also understand why he did. He was defending himself. You chased him into a closed office where he had no point of exit.
Right, that was the point. I was forcing him to have a conversation.
You're forcing him to become scared and interfere.
When asked if she could have handled the situation in a different way, Ivory repeats her same stance.
We haven't been able to see and communicate with each other, and that's what I was trying to do. And I asked nicely, and I got refused, and I stood a line that scared them, and they lashed out.
So do you think you could have approached it in a different manner than how we approached it today and probably got the same goal, the same end?
How do you expect I'm asking for something on the register to be done.
This bitch is
They asked her
constantly
to-
saying
the
shit.
cashier couldn't do it for me. I asked her to bubble it up to a manager. That's what you do. You take it up the chain of command.
Absolutely you do. Yeah.
But this is the problem. My people have been trying to take it up the chain of command.
Well, it's not about your people or their people. Each individual is a human being, irrespective of their race, their community. Stop trying to make it your problem or your community's problem. It's not. It's a collective human problem. You fucking dumbass. You want to build yourself that, oh, this is the black community, this is the white community, and then you're gonna say, oh, these guys are doing racism towards me. You're the one that's creating the boundaries over here between a black man and a white man, and now you're gonna pretend that it's not your problem because this racism exists. It's you being a fucking retard.
And they are getting smacked back down because the laws are not in their favor. For you to take a hard stand, I just got hit.
Ivory was later convicted of disorderly conduct. She was sentenced to 1 day in jail and fined $110. Reporting for Long Crime Network, I'm Sarah Gillespie.
Conversation, what were you going to ask?
To reconciliation.
Calls the incident her, quote, Rosa Parks moment.
Yeah, she called it a Rosa Parks moment.
And how provision works, so we can have a larger discussion about how money works, and how provision works, and how it's been working in our community in a very wrong way.
Can you elaborate a little bit, go into further detail?
Sure.
Ivory calls the incident her, quote, Rosa Parks moment.
Just to give you a brief insight of who Rosa Parks is, Rosa Parks was an activist, okay? She was an activist that fight for women's rights. And this retarded woman is trying to compare her incident for being a self-centered bitch to Rosa Parks. Come on, bitch. Grow up. This woman tried to fight for rights of women. She was the first lady of civil rights. You're trying to compare yourself to this famous individual. Bullshit. You might have your provisions, you might have your whatever rights you have to get free stuff. I don't know the laws of the United States anymore. I don't know what you calling your community have the rights to do in the society, but there could be a civilized conversation about it. If you don't feel that you're coming to a conclusion, that doesn't give you the right to charge at someone's face and charge into someone else's office to corner him. And when you get when you get beaten, it's not his problem. Maybe he felt psychologically threatened. That was his general reflex. If this was in some other part of America and this was not a Target store and that guy got triggered, he would have whipped out a gun and you would have been dead. I'm sorry to say that, but you would have been dead. That guy would have just pulled off a gun and just shot you. That would be a different case altogether. But luckily, you were in a civilized society, in a civilized store, and when he got cornered, he just gave a punch. Maybe that punch was wrong, and maybe he should have apologized for that punch. But the punch was a reflex of you threatening him. I don't want to talk about this bitch anymore because I feel so disgusted just watching this video. So that was my take on this video. Hope you like this video, found this video interesting. If so, press the like button. If you disagree with me, press the dislike button. Write down in the comment section below how you feel about this situation. This is me, Rishabh Dhanuka, and I am out.